Let's talk about Travis Kelce and the value he brings to the Kansas City Chiefs. He is so valuable, does so much, and I want to talk about his postseason run. He had a great playoff run, too. I mean, sometimes, I feel like typically when you have a star player like that, they're not going to be great in every playoff game, because there's going to be some games where they get taken away. Not really. In this one, he was great every single game, had a huge impact every single game. And let's start off with, the Jacksonville game. We'll work our way through this postseason run. What's interesting about this play is it's cover zero, and Patrick Mahomes is not the quarterback here. It is Chad Henne. Kelce was really impactful in that Chad Henne touchdown drive. I thought he kind of carried the team a little bit in that drive. And this is a great example of Henne also understanding who he has and knowing that if you have Kelce, lean on him. It kind of works both ways, where it's going to be a cover zero. So everyone's rushing the quarterback or playing one-on-one man coverage. That's what's happening for Jacksonville. That's where Kelce is, and you see that for Henne, I mean, that's where he should look, right? Right when his play begins, you see that Kelce at this point, kind of, stands near the first down and turns around, but this is not the most difficult of routes to stop, right? I mean, you would think that this is something where you can hopefully step in and make a quick tackle, even if it is thrown in your direction, which it's going to be thrown in that direction. I mean, Henne is throwing it to Kelce. He's about to get clobbered. He's going to give the ball to Kelce. That's just what he's going to do. But when he does, watch Kelce be able to break this tackle, and he's able to pick up a first down. That was very important because that was a third down, and they had to get to the 41-yard line. So being able to pick up that amount of yards right there was definitely a very important play that Kelce was able to pull off. And again, he was able to make a few plays in that Chad Henne drive that were very impactful. I think this play is just a great example of just how good he is and how the little things he does. I mean, it's video game-like at times, the way he's able to play. You don't expect tight ends to be able to do this. You just don't. And here's a great example where it's going to be a zone coverage play. It's a simple concept. You see teams do this all the time. You have a receiver run a deep route, and then your tight end kind of runs underneath. Hopefully the defenders for Cincinnati on this play stay further deep with the deep route, and then you can hit Kelce underneath. That's kind of the way it's supposed to work. Watch how right when this play begins, it's working as expected. You see Kelce's open, wide open, really, but for how many yards? That's the question. And you expect that, there's 29 for Cincinnati, the defensive back in that area. He's reading it. He's going to try to come in and make a tackle on Kelce. That's what he's going to try and do here. Kelce, though, is smart. This is really brilliant by Kelce, in fact. He's running towards the bottom of the screen. He knows that a defender who's going to try and tackle him is going to go towards the bottom of the screen as well. So watch how right when he catches the ball, watch him cut up. He didn't see that. He didn't know where number 29 is. He literally juked out a player with his back turned. That's how good Travis Kelce is at some of this stuff, where he can juke out guys blindfolded, essentially, which is just, again, the sheer value that he has and that he was bringing in the biggest of spots. And speaking of the biggest of spots, I don't know if the Chiefs win this game. In fact, I don't think that they do win this game if Kelce doesn't make this play, because this is a fourth down situation. They only need a couple yards, but you're going to look to Travis Kelce no matter what in this spot. It looks like there's some confusion going on for Cincinnati, trying to figure out exactly what they want to have happen, and Kansas City is going to take advantage of that a little. Watch how when this play begins, you see that when eventually the player for Cincinnati who's covering Kelce gets over there, there's not really anyone behind him. This is definitely a great situation for Kelce. Now, there's a bit of an issue as well, as this is not Mahomes' first read on this play, it appears. He's looking somewhere else, and so because of this, you're now in a situation where, okay, if he threw it now, he could try to throw it further over the corner, but you don't want to put too much air under it. It's kind of a dilemma of how do you exactly make this throw? But looks like Mahomes kind of does the old, like when you're playing football, just throwing the ball around, you start playing 500. Kind of looks like Mahomes just says like a 500 alive and throws it to his best friend here, Travis Kelce. Watch him really just wait a second and then kind of puts a lot of air under it. Just lets Kelce be the one to box out the defender and adjust to it. I mean, it's kind of simple, really, but it's, hey, Travis Kelce's awesome. I don't got to overthink this. Just throw it in a spot where he can catch it. He's probably going to catch it, and Kelce made it look easy. And this is the kind of situation where, again, you think about the importance of this play. This is the game where they won on a last-second field goal. Had they not made this play, that's a 7-point swing in a football game. A little bit less because the field position would have been different, but it's really about a 6.5-point swing EPA-wise in a football game from completing this to not completing this play. That's a massive swing in a football game, and the fact that, Kelce was able to pull it off is why they were able to beat Cincinnati. I don't think they win this game if he doesn't make that play, or at least it would have been different. They might have still, again, who knows, change one thing, the whole game is different, but it definitely would have dramatically changed the game. And then, of course, in the Super Bowl, I mean, he was uncoverable in the Super Bowl at times. This is a great example where they're going to use some motion to give him a favorable matchup, getting him away from Darius Slay, and instead it's going to be Marcus Epps who's covering him here in a one-on-one spot. Watch how right when this play begins, Epps moves in enough that Kelce can use his physicality, which is a mistake. Never want to be in a position where Kelce can put his hands on you legally, right? That's just not a good idea. Watch him use his size to get around Epps, and then he uses his speed to get past Epps. And it's just one of those situations where it's like, I don't know what you're supposed to do there to cover Kelce. You know what you're supposed to do there? Have a safety over the top. That's what you're supposed to do. There's no covering Kelce one-on-one. He is the most uncoverable tight end in football. So difficult to do, and it's hard to blame the Eagles defense for that. Maybe if they had Slay on him, it would have worked better. But again, that's the only real nitpicks I can have, is they should have had a better player on him, or they should have double teamed him. Not that you should have played that differently, because there is no playing it differently. It's Travis Kelce. This play was also, I thought, a huge one in the game. He did go away a little bit in the second half, I thought, but this was the play that he really was able to, make such an impact on, where it's going to be, try and get the ball to the 42-yard line. That's where they're going with here. It's not a third down, but still, it's an important play. You see Kelce's route. It's a good route against this type of coverage. Definitely something with a good angle to work, but first he has to win the matchup. Watch how right when this play begins. A lot of times at this spot, they'll let you create some contact if you want to, but Kelce does not need to. Watch him move really just with his footwork to get around. He gets wide open and then makes a shoestring catch because Mahomes' throw, due to getting hit, was a little bit low. Doesn't matter. Kelce's still able to find a way to make the play. These were the things that Kelce was doing consistently all postseason run. Let's be honest. These are the things that Travis Kelce does consistently every game for his entire career long, it seems like. He's been one of the most consistent players in football for quite some time at being able to do this stuff, and to be able to consistently pull this kind of stuff off it's just really impressive, and it's really cool. I mean, it's cool to see that someone who, let's be honest, 30 years from now will still be sitting here saying, man, that Travis Kelce guy, he was uncoverable. He was great. Remember that guy? We'll be saying that. We'll all be sitting around, talking about how, in the nursing home, talking about how great Travis Kelce is at this stuff. So we still got to watch it now, and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about all this stuff with the Travis Kelce of it all. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Travis Kelce and his postseason run? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.